All right. So nobody's showing their screen anyway, except for Miles, who technically is breaking the law on camera, but it's all good. Boy, Ryan dirty. But no. Let's get right to it. So who we are. Who knows our slogan? Can anyone unmute, please, and share our slogan with me? Who knows our slogan by heart by chance?
Um, Bridging the gap between quality and experience.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Very good stuff. That's two incentives for Jaleesa. Good Lord. All right. That makes me very happy that somebody actually knew it. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't expect anybody to know it. So I'm very happy to hear that. But yes, so that's our slogan, bridging the gap between quality and experience. Who we are at kind of the foundation level as a company is a company that's solely focused on quality, not solely, but hyper focused on quality. As you all know, the 360 booth market has been pretty saturated for the last couple of years. But our take on it is different. We specialize in kind of special touches, and having high quality is at the very crux of that. So you all have seen kind of the 4K cameras and stuff like that that we use, and I would even take it a step further and say that our customer service. If you go and look at our reviews, we don't have many yet, but if you go and look at our reviews, that's something that is constantly stated, or most consistently stated, is our customer service is great. I've had clients over the phone, especially like Benny Keith. They were very impressed, and they're probably one of our bigger clients yet, especially in terms of retention. They have several times complimented our customer service leading up to an event, as well as how we serve their guests at the event. So I'm very proud of that because I've only been to one of those. But you guys like knocked it out the park in terms of how y'all serve the actual guests at the gig. But yeah, so that's who we are. I did want to share the vision, having the whole team here. Unfortunately, we're missing Dan, but I did want to share kind of my vision for DFW 360 booths with y'all. I posted a little bit about this on Facebook too. Like, with as you all know, I started out of a mobile DJing business, and that's kind of been my passion, and all of that good stuff. And so this was kind of birthed out of that. But my vision with it was not so much it being just another stream of income. And while it is that, more importantly for me, it is an avenue by which I can serve people. And initially, I didn't have the aspirations to have a team in doing this. And Marie can kind of attest to this because when this was all being born, her and Dame and I were all working at the same school, and I would talk to them about it a lot during like our lunch breaks and stuff. But my vision with DFW 360 Boost is for this to be the engine by which all of us kind of accomplish the goals that we have set. All of you have had a conversation with me about what your goals are, to the point of me helping you achieve those goals. And so you'll see, I put underneath vision a team, a team slash family of talent that builds each other and impacts our metroplex. That's truly my vision. I want to aid you guys in whatever it is you're trying to do, whether it's, Marie and her photography. Rashad, at one point, Rashad had a venue being built. He and his wife, Dame, in his aspirations in terms of his family. Just all of us have different goals. Even if it was, in one season, I won't say who it is, but some people have just been like, "Hey, I just need cash," and that's cool too. You know what I mean? But my heart is this being the engine by which we build each other. Obviously, y'all's value to me is different than y'all's value for me. Most of you I have personal relationships with prior to this company ever existing, but even those of you who have come here have come by way of um, extreme courage, especially you, Vanessa. Like, you're the person that just like saw us at an event and said something, which I admire. But then, Jaleesa came by way of Marie, and I like kind of the tree growing off of that branch. I'm not going to stay on the soapbox too much longer. I just say all this to say, because I think this is probably one of the most important parts of this meeting, is for us all to understand the vision of what we're doing and why we're doing it, or the vision behind what we're doing and why we're doing it. That being said, our mission is absolutely serving people, serving our clients, Obviously, we get paid to do it, but we serve at these events, and I think that's why our customer service looks the way it does. I do my best to model that for y'all, but I think people see customer service that comes from a pure heart of service. Um, and I think in addition to that, how we serve one another, like we work well together as a team. I'm super excited for our next like in-person team meeting. Those of us who got to attend the dinner earlier this year at Del Frisco, that was a great time. But I'm really excited to have all of us and our families together, for the next meeting, because I truly want to build on that culture of kind of like team and family orientation, and because I think that helps us go out and serve our clients, but also again serve each other by way of referrals. If we have several of us are photographers, if we have things going on in other spaces, which obviously I don't mind. Marie needs a second shooter for this wedding, or Jaleesa and Maria work together quite often, I believe. But Miles and Maria, however that works, I just the vision of that became kind of like my mission with this company. And so, yeah, we all have goals, and that's what I put here at the bottom. Just teaming up to achieve those goals. Obviously, I have goals for us as a company. I have personal goals. I'll share those in terms of DFW 360 booths. Our goal for this year is $100,000 or six figures in booth rentals alone. We do well between, booth rentals and DJing and then all the other ventures or whatever that I have going. But I feel like us achieving six figures through booth rentals doesn't just speak to like, oh, Sergey's making some money. Because if you haven't noticed, I'm trying my best not to go out. I think if we're making six figures doing booths, it's because you all are out killing it and making money. You all are out, manning the gigs or whatever. But hopefully that's helping and supporting your goals. Rather that's, hey, I just need the extra cash. Some of you have mentioned, desires to own a photo booth company of your own one day. Just kind of get to know how it all works or whatever. And I'm with that. I'm for that. I want to support that. And so if it looks like I'm doing well, the DFW 360 boost is doing well, it's because we as a team are all doing well. And I just like the way that feels and sounds. So that's our kind of vision and mission here. It looks like somebody threw okay. If you threw a question in the chat, I'm sorry. I'll address everything at the end. But on to what we do. Simply put, we're maintaining the name Booths. I know some of you have heard about kind of us rebranding, and that is true. We are going to be rebranding. We'll maintain the names, like I'll maintain ownership of DFW 360, but we will be rebranding to Stark 360 Entertainment, just due to some stuff. But within that, even still, 360 booths is obviously our primary. That's what lures people into us the most. Secondary to that is photo booths, traditional photo booths. Believe it or not, they aren't too far behind. People are still more comfortable and more familiar with photo booths, and so and they're less expensive than the 360 booths, so they tend to be still a hot commodity. And then message phone booths, obviously I put thirdly, just fooling around, but that's our new kind of offering that we'll be giving. Is everybody in here? It's kind of weird because I can't see anybody and I can't hear anybody. So I feel like I'm talking to myself now. If y'all can, I mean, if you got your bonnet on, I won't judge you, I swear. But if y'all could turn y'all vids on, it's a little weird because I'm like, I think they're there. Or maybe they're in Kroger. If you're in Kroger, that's fine too. Honestly, this is for y'all.
Yeah,
Um,
no, we here.
bet. So, but no, lastly, the phone booths. By the way, the phone booth is in production. We're praying that it'll be done by the end of the week. So right now we're just going out with just the phones themselves. We'll have 3 different setups for the phones, but the actual walk-in phone booth, I anticipate will be kind of like an explosion of inquiries coming from that and business coming from that. More on that later. But this is what we do at the foundation level. Will we venture past this? My prayer is not. I know some of y'all heard me talk about the glam bot. I think I'm off that now, but we'll see. For now, this is what we do, and this is my sole focus: is us being able to accomplish all of our goals. Y'all are going to hear me say goals a lot over the course of this meeting. using these three instruments. And so that's that. Moving on, I do want to kind of touch a little bit on positions, because one or two people have kind of asked about this, positions within the company, even like potential for moving up. Some of you know Marie started out doing photo booths for me, and kind of killing events on the photo booth side, and then she's now our administrative assistant, and in addition to taking photo booth gigs and stuff. But currently this is how our positions lie, and then there are a couple positions that I'm looking to hire on within the next few months. So obviously owner is me and Marissa. I don't know why I didn't put names, but whatever. Me and Marissa. I like to say this because not everybody, actually all of you have met Marissa, but obviously Marissa's my wife. She is also our accountant. And I know it looks a little bootleg when a husband and wife are kind of doing this together, whatever, but I had it on my desk. I don't know where it's like, she's like the actual accountant, like profit loss statements, the whole shebang. Like she's for real deal, the accountant department. And so that is kind of her role. While she does hold, majority ownership of the companies, that is her primary is accounting. Administrative assistant, I just mentioned earlier, is Marie. She's kind of making everything run with us, and I'm extremely proud and happy to have Marie. And I'm very, very happy with how familiar you all have become with communicating with Marie, receiving communication from Marie. That worked out amazingly. So that makes me happy. Attendance. So for whatever reason, I just stopped editing this part, my bad. But obviously we'll be having attendance for the 360 booth, for the photo booth, as well as the phone booth. And I'll touch more on the others, but all of us have experience with the 360 booth or some sort of training with the 360 booth. I'm looking to hire marketing manager, or more specifically a social media marketer, but someone that can handle all of our marketing. I don't know what that ping was. Hold on one second. All right, whatever. Anyway, looking to hire a social media manager. Marie and I will be meeting with someone on Wednesday that might be a good fit, at the very least as a consultant, but hopefully we can get her on, because that's going to send us through the roof. And then operations manager. My prayer is to have someone that literally kind of takes the reins of everything. I'll be looking to hire that position actually on the later side of the year, Q4, once we kind of iron out a decent salary. But that's kind of what positions look like. Should you have interest in other things, please let me know. That would be dope, especially if it caters to what it is you do, what you have aspirations to do, etc. Marie, I don't know if do you mind me sharing what you do outside of DFW 360 booths?
I had to sign an NDA, but I think it's fine. It's okay.
I don't have to say the company.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you go ahead.
So, and I'm only mentioning this to support the point of me saying, hey, if you have aspirations towards other things. So Marie and I, like I mentioned before, we're in education together. I left education first, and then I did my best to pull her and Dame out. Dame is still there, but Marie made the jump. She left education mid-contract, which makes me happy, to pursue an administrative assistant position. And she had interest in administrative assistants, and I was just happy to kind of almost be like a test run, you know what I mean? But after coming on with me, shortly after though, I think you were like kind of in search or whatever for the positions and stuff anyway. But like it was just dope to be able to support her in that lane. And so that being said, anyone else that has interest in any of these, marketing manager, operation managers, we're still building out what those job details and things like that. But I'd be more than happy to kind of talk through that if that's something y'all are interested in. Moving forward and quickly, which I'm happy about because I do want to address some other things. But anyway, pay scale, the big topic. A few people have asked me about this as well. We finally ironed it out. I hourly pay altogether, just because it just made me feel bad. Marie and Rashad and Dame, if he were here, they can tell y'all, Miles too, like that there's been a lot of conversation and tug of war when it comes to pay scale. And just being candid with y'all, most business owners may not necessarily, share all the, vivid details of, monies and everything. But, in the very beginning of this, my mindset was like, y'all are going out doing the gigs, y'all should make all the money kind of thing. So 75% of the contract is yours. But then my wife, again, who's accounting, said, hey, we won't be in business long if we continue to do that, right? So I met with several of you to talk through what is a reasonable kind of pay scale. And so this is what we came up with after all of those conversations. All of you know, at least those of you who've been trainees, that 120 is what you've been paid for each of your shadows. So we only have one trainee on now, and they'll have to complete 4 shadows and a one-on-one meeting with myself. Sort of like an interview, kind of walk through thing, but that each of those gigs or shadows rather, you get paid 120. And that is a non-obligatory payment. And what I mean by that is, like, you're not officially on with us. Like, this is literally just kind of trainee. You're really just getting not free, you're getting paid to get an education on how we do things. I've gone up and down about NDA for trainees, but I don't know. I don't like NDAs either. So we'll see. But, you essentially come in, see how we run things. I've been asked before, like, why would you do that? What if they run to, competitors with information about how you do things? And quite honestly, that's another thing I should have put on who we are, but we don't compete, because in my mind, I'll be honest, y'all are the best to me. So we don't have competition. We don't have people that can compete with the high level quality and quality customer service that we provide. But all that being said, trainees, 120 is what you're getting for those shadows. Now, once you complete those shadows, you complete your one-on-one meeting with me, you bump up to tier 1. And as you see here, tier 1 is your first 20 events, essentially, where you'll be paid $240 per gig. Now, these are all, by the way, assuming 3 to 4 hours, no more than 4 hours. Should there be, a 5 or 6 hour gig, and I mean a paid gig, then obviously we're going to, restructure payment from there. Or Miles just recently did a multi-day deal for us, and Vanessa tag team on the second one for Benny Keith. If you're going to go out and do 2 gigs in one day, you're going to be driving all this pretty much your whole day, and you got to like charge equipment and everything else, then we'll look at restructuring what your pay is going to be. But just kind of base rate to have a solid frame rate to look at on what pay is going to be. This is it. So once you've completed 20 events with us, you'll bump up to tier 2. Payment then doubles. If you don't notice, it just kind of doubles and doubles. Tier 2 pay is $480 per gig. Again, assuming a 3 to 4 hour time frame. And then the core group, which is Marie, Rashad, and Dane, their rates are kind of like negotiated. And that's kind of the approach I'll take with anybody who gets up to 45 events with me. I feel like at that point, you've earned to be able to kind of negotiate pay. And at that point, you have an experience level that would make me want to pay you more to go out and do your thing. So yeah, that's kind of the pay scale. Man, thank y'all so much. I ain't gonna lie, I expected somebody to like butt in anyway and be like, but wait. But so thank y'all for holding y'all questions. But we'll address a little bit more on that in a second. Adjustments made. Okay, one more adjustment that I do want to make mention of, and I think we'll address this later in the presentation as well. You see at the bottom it says adjustments made for tag team events, additional travel and referrals. In terms of tag team events, there's going to be a difference in pay if 2 people are assigned to the event, but one person is doing the pickup. The person that's doing the pickup is going to get full pay. The person that's just showing up to the venue will not get paid the same thing, and that's just that's because obviously the person that's coming to pick up the equipment is doing more of the driving, the gas, the wear and tear on their equipment or their vehicles, etc. Um, the additional travel is speaking to exit of the county lines. So we serve Tarrant County, Dallas County, Denton, and Collin County. Like that's really our metro outline, right? Anything outside of that, and Marie, me and Marie literally were we meet every Monday, and we were in the middle of our meeting last Monday, and a guy called for prom on Friday, I think it was, and it was in like Marie, you remember what town it was? It was like ridiculously far. It was like,
It's called New Italy, right?
yeah, it was like in Italy, Texas, or something like that, and it was 2 hours away. And we were shuffling too. It was on Saturday because Miles was going out to do those two deals. A lot of people had told us they'd be out of town, etc. But we were really trying to figure out like how we can make it work. And then we looked up where he was, and it was like, bro, like, it'd be crazy for me to, send Jaleesa from Bedford all the way to Italy or whatever. Mind you, she has to come up to get equipment from me, come home, then go to Italy. Then like that'd be nuts to do that off the same pay. I just don't feel right doing that. So in the event that we get some extreme travel like that, of course we'll talk to you about it. We'll assign it, but we'll talk with you, see if you're even interested in doing it. Another one, Ferrari wants us to come to Austin, or I'm not gonna say wants us. They've inquired about us coming to Austin, to do a gig. I would love to go and do something for Ferrari. I just think that association would be great. But if I'm obviously going to go, but if someone's going to ride with me or whatever, then that's travel. You're going to be away from your family, blah, 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 blah. I'm probably not going to do that at just a typical tier rate. But lastly, the referrals, we'll address that in a minute because it's kind of a little bit of an announcement on that. Moving forward, we'll address it now. The referral bonus. So there will be $100 bonus for events that you refer and attend. So all of us are in spaces, we have jobs and things like that outside of DFW 360 booths. If you hear a coworker say, hey, I got this event going, my brother's getting married or whatever, I saw your Instagram and you do the 360 thing or whatever, please feel free to let them know, yeah, I can definitely get you plugged in, get a booth set up for you or whatever. And Marie and I are coming up with we said just names, right? For a promo.
You said just what?
For promo code. I think we're just going to do your, yeah. So we're going to do your name in all caps so that we can see that it's a referral. And it's, they tell us in the forms, like how they know us or whatever. So I guess they could do it there too. But yeah, once we get referrals in from you, Marie, who does all the follow up, all the admin stuff or whatever, she'll see it and she'll assign you. You have to actually refer the client, and it has to book, and you have to attend it to get that bonus. Now, if it happens to be a situation where Jaleesa referred a friend, the friend booked, but Jaleesa's out of town that weekend, but it's still booked, Vanessa's going to do it. Then we'll still shoot that bonus or whatever. But if it turns into a situation where like, hey, it just didn't book, then the bonus won't go.
Whenever they are filling out an inquiry form, is there a part that they can put a promo code in?
Yeah, at the very bottom.
Could you show them that on the website real quick, like what the inquiry form looks like for people who haven't seen it, and then how to put in the promo code?
Absolutely. So actually, wait a minute. Oh, well, y'all probably can't see that. I'll just share my screen. So on the booking site, I'm sure all of you, I hope all of y'all have at least looked at this, but on the booking site, you go up to book now. And this is what every client or inquirer does. They go to this page and they just fill out some basic information about the event, the date of the event, their name, their email address, blah, 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 blah. At the very bottom here is where they put in a promo code. So we previously had, for the first quarter, we had the Q1. Right now we're doing a BOGO, like buy one, if they book one booth, they book the second booth half off. Shoot, I gotta put that on there. Anyway, buy one booth, get one half off. and that's applied to the lowest booth, of course. But in this promo deal, you can just, they can put here, how did they hear about us or whatever. If they put Rashad here, Rashad referred me, you know, that's cool too. We can just be looking for that, Marie. But otherwise, just have them put your name in all caps in the promo code. By the way, I'm recording this whole meeting, so if I flash by something too quickly and you forgot to ask a question about it at the end of the deal, then I'd be more than happy to shoot this out to everybody. All right, so if this thing will let me go back and present. Boom. All right, so lastly, I mentioned earlier, travel. Anything outside of Tarrant, Denton, Collin County, or Dallas County, there will be an increase in pay, a $50 increase if you're traveling out. If you're going all the way to freaking Italy, Texas, or what's another one? Cleburne. We've gotten a lot of inquiries for Cleburne, and Granbury, and Godley, you know, stuff like that. We might end up getting a lot of, because they're country bumpkin towns and they just kind of Googled and found us. So yeah, there will be increase in pay for travel for that. Now, obviously, if you're going to Austin, it's going to be more than $50. But equipment transport, like I mentioned earlier, if you were the attendant who just went to the venue, there'll be a $40 deduction from your pay. If you're the attendant who actually picked up the gear, then you'll get your full tier pay. And again, that's in the case of like tag team events. Obviously, if you're doing an event by yourself, then you'll get your tier pay, but you will be obviously required to come and pick up the gear. As you all know, right now, warehousing is still all being done from my house. For now, building is something that we'll end up having to address at some point, but that's not necessarily on the priority list. So for now, you know, picking up from the crib 24 hours in advance is the expectation. Moving forward, in terms of how to get your money, we wanted to, this is something that Marie and I have talked about the most regarding y'all in our Monday meetings. And so again, I'm going to jump out of here and kind of walk through how in DJ Event Planner you all can access your events. Some of us are better than others, but I felt like it was important to go through it with everybody. So I'm going to log in as somebody, Dame, since he's not here. Miles got a bunch of stuff. Oh, did Miles just pop in? Or was that a Facebook? Anyway, all right. So Miles, let me log in. Miles, you mind?
No, it's all good.
Okay, cool. So this says no events found. It is definitely lying. Okay, there we go. So this is how your, I don't know why it does that either. Like when you guys first come in when you first log in, sometimes it'll say no events found. You might have to kind of like click upcoming events. Yeah, now it won't show that. Okay, cool. Anyway, you'll probably have to click on upcoming events to pull up all of your upcoming events. Now, we're working on getting this color coded so that it's a little bit easier to, you know, identify things. But a few things about this page that we wanted to point out. Number one, how you access them. Go to upcoming events. Whenever we assign an event to you, you'll get an email about it. If you don't get an email about it, it'll show up here. But you should get an email about it. And then from that email, you'll be able to open and view the event. So this first one, Concord Church, shouts out to Vanessa for holding it down. This was a whole mess and a half, but whatever. This was an event that came in. When you open this event, you get access to information regarding what time is the setup, what time do we start. So it's an 8 o'clock setup, a 10 o'clock start. But then if you go to staff here, it'll show you your wage, And typically we'll put notes in under here, especially if we have like a combo booking where I'm DJing and we're going to have a booth and everything else. We'll have notes under here that will display, you know, specific details. You know, let's say we have a white floral backdrop and they want us to mount their neon sign. You know, we might put that detail there. Hey, be prepared to mount a neon sign. Have, you know, we'll show you the fish line method or whatever. Venue information will be right here under the venue tab. Services, obviously, this is where you'll see what's being provided. So this is going to be a 360 XL. They also want to air. They also want overlays and 4K highlights. And then for the most part, the rest of this is not necessarily useful to y'all, but those are the biggins. Now, this status details right here is really, really important because this tells you the status of the actual event. You'll notice it just says contract sent, which means this isn't actually a booked event. And one thing I want to avoid, unfortunately, we weren't able to avoid this with this particular client before. Vanessa shows up to the event expecting us to be there, and it wasn't booked. Now, two things there. Vanessa wasn't in the system yet, so she didn't have a way to see this. But had she been, had we, you know, had her onboarded already, you know, she would have been able to see like status, okay, contract sent, it's not booked. Now, in the case of a booked event like this one, when is this? May 18th. So later this month, we got a fundraiser, looks like, and you'll see that green booked. So, okay, that's a booked event. I'm definitely showing up. Let me make sure that I'm planning accordingly. Again, all those details can be found there. You want to make sure that you're checking the status and you're checking events frequently. Yeah, that's all I had on that. Again, go to staff to check your wage. That's that. Go back to our presentation. So yes, please, within at least 24 hours, accept or decline the event. Whenever you decline, it will ask you to give a reason. I do like to know that, just so if it's something critical, we need to, you know, if we need to aid with something else outside of like work, you know what I mean? For example, Miles is finna have a baby. You know what I mean? I don't want to just know he's gonna have a baby. I want to, hey, all right, we'll not just back up your event. We want to send a card or whatever. So please let us know what's going on when you decline. But please accept or decline within like 24 hours, because that really, really helps us, especially Marie, who's communicating with the client. The last thing we want is for us to assign something to someone. Days go by, we don't get any real response, and then everyone else is booked up. We've taken money from this client, and we don't have anybody to actually man the event. I've for the most part, after like 48 hours of not hearing back, for the most part, I've just had, this has only happened like once or twice, I've just had Marie assign somebody else. Because especially in a situation where with booths, people, by the time they get to us and call us, they're pretty much dead set on booking. So they likely have paid a deposit and signed a contract. So in those situations, we're not trying to get money back, right? So we have to be kind of quick on that. But yes, please check those event statuses and check your inboxes, your email inboxes for those bookings. Go back forward. I messed that up. There we go. No, come back, baby, come back. There we go. I'm doing good on time. I'm proud of myself. All right, housekeeping. Before events, please pick up your gear at least 24 hours prior to. As you all know, again, it's at my house, but I'm also doing events myself. And so a time or two, we've had like y'all come to the crib and I'll just open up the, front door or whatever with my app on my phone. But like, especially when it comes to like drop off and things like that, just it's good for us to be communicating with each other. So please communicate when you're headed out, when you plan to, just, make plans to come and pick up gear 24 hours before the event, but let me know what your ETAs will be. And then if you just have to, Marie recently had an event where I think it was at Hillside. So it was like, hey, that's your house is on the way to Hillside from me and McKinney. So I'm just going to pick it up on the way there. If that's the case, if it works out, call me and let me know a day ahead. So I know that, and I'm not freaking out the day of like, yo, what's going on? Also, really big tip here, especially for all of the newer teammates. The software we use for now is TouchPix. It is really, really helpful actually, to go to YouTube and just kind of research the basics of TouchPix. We'll be addressing some of this stuff in our next team meeting. I didn't want to I knew it would take way too long to try to do that and this, but today. But please go to YouTube if you got some leisure time. Just check out how everything works conceptually. I know you guys have seen it firsthand from me, but I think watching some of those videos will really help you, especially when it comes to troubleshooting. Things like ISO. So like during the event, ISO is one of the biggest things that, like, when I tap in, you guys are at an event, I'm at another event, I might tap into the gallery from my phone and see like how the shots are looking, how the event is going, see if I can grab some content from the gallery real quick to post on Instagram, blah, blah, blah. And one of the first things that jump out is, oh, the ISO is up a little high. Quick explanation on ISO. It's synthetic lighting. It's the camera phone trying to add lighting or brightness to the image, but it also makes the image grainy. Obviously, we are a big push for quality. And even if they don't, get 4K shots from us, we're still able to provide a higher level of quality even from the iPhones. Quick note, I'm looking to upgrade the iPhones. We shoot with 11s. I really want to get 14s because my 14 is, camera-wise, it's superior to all. I'm just gonna say that. But ISO, we have a setting in the TouchPix software that allows us to bring the synthetic lighting down, which gives us a higher quality image as long as we have great lighting, which we do. Jaleesa just posted tutorials. Thank you for that. So OrcaView is a company that we buy all the booths from themselves. TouchPix, and I'm going to put that in a group. TouchPix is the software that we use. So both of those are good to check out, you know what I mean? But please, to my next point, when you go to OrcaView and you look at how they show training videos on like how to use the dolly and how to get stuff in your cars, Vanessa knows I've screamed this at her the most. Use your knees, please. The last thing I need for anybody is for y'all to get hurt out there. I believe it or not, I really do care about y'all. It's not just about like, oh, are you gonna be able to perform? I don't want y'all to break your back. And Rashad has griped at me the most out of everybody about saving my back. And so, I'm just trying to spread the love. Anyway, lift with your knees, please. Don't listen to that lifting tutorial in OrcaView. Lastly, post-event, please, 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 please pack your cases neatly. This has been one of the things that I've seen the most, that just really, that really bothers me. And it doesn't just bother me from a personal level, like I'm some OCD, whatever, neat freak. It's more so that this is all equipment that we have to pay for. So if stuff is just thrown in a case and then in transport is bouncing around, whoopty whoop, then now I'm looking at having a cracked screen on a phone, or I'm looking at, one of the clips to the phone, to the ring light broke, and that was the only one in that case, and now what are we going to do at a get, so I just like to avoid all of that stuff. I am going to actually, I wanted to put a picture of how they should all be packed into those cases. I bought the cases with like the little fit squares and compartments, but the foam just breaks up. And eventually I got to a point where I realized, like, hey, bro, most of us, if not all of us, are like college educated. I feel like we should be able to figure that out, yo. So, all that being said, like, please, let's stack the cases neatly so we can keep this stuff as long as possible. And then lastly, post-event, like I said earlier, please just kind of communicate with us. Miles is the dopest at this because literally he's leaving the event. I'm at another event and he's like, I'll be there in an hour. And then literally an hour later, I look at my Vivint app and he's at the door. So I appreciate that. But let me know, because a lot of times if I'm not there, it's just my wife and kids there. So just me being me, I like to know that stuff. Lastly, announcements. Number one, we want to welcome officially our newest teammate, and she still haven't turned that video on, but it's cool. It's all love. Everybody, Vanessa Green has officially finished all of her shadows, and provided that she would like to still remain with the team, is our new teammate with DFW 360. So congratulations on coming on. She still haven't put, oh, there we go. Also, you better rep your set. She got a DST beanie on. You better rep your set, ooh, whoop, and all that. But no, so Vanessa has been killing it. As I mentioned earlier, Vanessa is kind of like the only one really that didn't come by way of the team. Just quickly to introduce everybody. So Miles and I have known each other for years and have a very tight relationship since I was like a junior in college or something like that. And so he's on the team, blessed to have him. And then Jaleesa came in officially right after Miles. And so, yeah, Jaleesa came by way of Marie. Marie was like, hey, I got this friend named Jaleesa. She'd be down, whoop whoop. And Vanessa actually like literally walked up on us during the Chic Gala and was like, yo, how is it? What'd you ask? You asked something like, is this difficult to do or something like that? I don't remember. But I admire that because I'm like that. I walk up on somebody and just start asking questions. Most of y'all know a lot of this business has been me walking into F45, like, yo, y'all need a 360 booth. Let's try this cool shot, or walking into Torchy's Tacos and just trying to, get business that way. So I appreciate that Vanessa like legit just walked up like, hey, I want to do this. And so anyway, all that being said, welcome to the team. We got some swag for you over here, so it's on the way. And if you would, Marie, if you haven't already, if you can get your information to Marie, we need to put you in the system. So we'll need your W-9, we'll need your mail-in address, email address, phone number, blah, 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 blah. Marie will get with you to get all the information from you, and we can put you in the system so that you can, like I just demonstrated earlier, see all of your assignments. And it'll be a much more seamless process. It's not like just text messages. Second order of announcements, payments. I really, really liked paying y'all like the next day until I started missing payments. So Marie in our Monday meeting was like, hey, it's probably a good idea to issue payments out on Mondays because it's usually right after the event has occurred, and you would have met with me at 9:30 and I can remind you of who needs to be paid and what they need to be paid. And as much as I like the idea of me just being this robot that knows what everybody is doing and what they need to get paid, and just right off the top of my mind, just whoop, whoop, hitting that PayPal app or whatever to pay y'all, it's more important that I make sure I get it right. I think I actually missed a payment for like two of y'all a couple weeks ago. And yeah, so that's when Marie and I kind of sat at the table or on a Zoom, and she suggested that idea, and I think it's a brilliant idea. So payments will be issued on Mondays, likely Monday mornings, because we meet at 9:30 every Monday. And lastly, our next meeting will be the first Monday of June. I do know that Mr. Miles will be celebrating his 25th birthday. No, I'm playing. But now Miles will be celebrating his birthday coming up a couple days after that. But brother, if you could come on, that would be great, because we're going to be doing cross training between the 360 and the photo booth. My hope is that, you can use all of what we do to help you accomplish whatever it is we're looking to accomplish as a team. And so Jaleesa, for example, has been great with grabbing that air, going out, hitting these events. But when we get these photo booth inquiries, it'd be nice for her to be able to do those too, as well as you, Vanessa, and you might whoever else, aspires to do that. But that's my hope. And so we'll be diving into not just the 360, we'll do a little bit of touching on the settings in TouchPix for the 360, but the majority of next meeting will be going over DSLR booths, which is the software we use for the photo booth, and just how to set that up in general. I do believe me and Marie have already recorded something, I think. But anyway, that's what we'll be doing next. I forgot to make the last slide that said questions. So y'all throw them at me, whatever y'all got. Let's talk about it.
I had two quick questions. So the first one is regarding the referral. So at least from a potential client perspective, if they're putting in one of our names as a referral, like in the coupon code section, does that mean they're gonna get some type of discount because they're a referral? Because I wouldn't want them to be confused that, they're gonna get some type of discount just by being a referral.
No, so the client themselves will not get a discount by any means. It's a great question. I told Miles the other day, because this looked a little different what we were looking to do for what I was looking to do for the referral bonus, but after a few more conversations, I went against that. But a point Miles made, or I was making to Miles rather, was that, hey, if you can book something and maybe it's a little under our rate, then go ahead and do it. But I kind of want to hold off from that because everything still needs to funnel through Marie. And so for the most part, if you have a referral, you can lead them to the website, it'll funnel to Marie, and then Marie will have kind of the autonomy to offer, a free overlay or whatever she has to do, or I have to do to secure the business. But sending clients our way by way of referral it won't give them any kind of discount outside of the promotions we're currently running.
Could you
Okay.
change or add to the form? So like in the section that says, how did you hear about us? And they can put like Google or wherever they came from. Can you add to that and have our names there?
You mean like create a Dropbox?
Well, like how do
Yeah,
that just like an
yeah, either a
option?
Dropbox or a free form text that they can input. I'm sorry, Marie.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good.
Well, they have that. So they have a freeform text box already. So it's actually right above the promo code. So right here where it says, how did you hear about us? That's
And
what
that one's required.
Say that again.
And that's required.
Yeah, it has an asterisk right here. Does it not pop up on all the?
No, I was just wondering. I think they usually do pop up on all the inquiries, but I just wanted to make sure.
That is required.
I would just maybe because I think Rashad made a really good point. Like if I put something in a promo code, I'm like, what's my promo? And so that just leads to questions. You're not gonna be happy with the answer for it. And so as team members, maybe if we're doing a referral, then we can just say, hey, in the referral part, like, how did you hear about us? Write my name. Or if they're right there, you can help them fill it out and just say like, okay, we're going to fill this out real quick and then make sure to put my name right here.
Man, I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind offering like a little, 5 or 10% to somebody that y'all are going to refer. It's just going to bring more business in. And so if
Yeah, I mean, it's totally up to you, bro. I just wanted to get clarification on like making sure we don't confuse potential customers. That's all.
Yeah, no, yeah, and then y'all make a very valid point, because I'd be the same way. Promo code, like, do I get like? Yeah, no, that makes sense. Let's do 5% for now, and make it your name 5. So just Rashad 5, or
Okay.
Vanessa 5, or Jaleesa 5, or whatever. If they put that in all caps, then we'll know. And Marie, can you make note of that for me?
Sorry.
And then one other quick question is in regards to I'm not sure if you touched on it specifically. If I did, I missed it. My bad. events where a client is booking the 360 along with the DJ package,
Mhm.
is the pay rate the same as it would be as if, like you said, it's going to be less X number of dollars for just, showing up as an attendee versus bringing the gear?
Yeah, great question. So if it's a DJ, like we do this at the Hamptons a lot, where they book a DJ package and then I have a booth. Um, Likely I will still pay y'all's same tier rate. Um, I actually haven't even thought through that. Um, because it wouldn't make sense. It would only make sense. What we're going to bump into more often now than not is the booth being out the day before. So like in the last week or two, we've had a number of people who gone out to a booth and I'm just like, hey, hold it until tomorrow because we got to, do whatever else the next day. Instead of, bringing it up and coming back and picking it. So I don't know. I have to think on that. For now, I think it's going to be just kind of the same, tier rate that you would get, but it'll likely be like you're unloading from the trailer or whatever. Because typically, like when we go to the Hamptons, I'll just bring all the gear down in the trailer myself.
Mm-hmm.
And when y'all show up, the booth is already laid out in the corner or whatever. But one thing that the last time we had that I thought about is like, well, that kind of takes time off of my setup on the DJing end, especially if, at the Hamptons, we're likely going for a diamond package. And so if I need to put some time into like the actual DJ and lighting setup, it'd be nice if y'all are booked for a photo booth and 360 booth for y'all to have to worry about, pulling from the trailer, loading or unloading and setting up from there. So that's likely it'll be your same tier rate, or not likely, I'll speak in absolutes. For now, it's going to be your tier rate, but you'll unload once you arrive at the venue.
Cool.
So
Thanks. Just wanted to ask.
Yeah. So arrival and setup time will include like unloading and loading back up at the end of it. Man, that was a great question. I appreciate that. Does anybody else have questions?
I had a question. When we went to the what the heck was it called? Spur venue or whatever. So we had some people, I mean, they come up to us, they're like, hey, you guys do DJ, all these different services, and we're like, well, we don't really know much like what to tell people, but we would like to, like, yeah, we could do this, we do that. Is there a way we can get like a sheet or something that shows like the price of everything? Or
Yeah, absolutely. And I will actually I'll actually get something printed to keep with y'all, not just for the DJ, but also just kind of a quick price guide to have, because again, it can be a lot to try to remember, all the packages and a la carte, this and that. But yeah, I'll definitely, matter of fact, Marie, you have the pricing guide in the drive, right? If you could email that out.
I actually don't think I have it because the one I went to today, it had 4. Is that the newest one for DJ?
We are still restructuring the June of 23. So that restructure is going to take place in June like normal. I was trying to do it by April.
So right now that one's okay to send out?
Yeah, the one with the 4, yeah, if you could send that one out.
Okay. Got it.
The top package should be like $5,000, should be 5, 38, 27, and 15.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll send that out, and then the a la carte list with it. No, great question. Y'all have anything else for me? I know we at that 7 o'clock mark. I want to respect everybody's time, but I definitely want to answer any questions y'all might have.
I have a quick question. Just a thought. So when we were at Lucky Spur, we did run out of business cards, right? And with those business cards running out, let's say just because you have a lot of people, they're asking for them. If we ever run into that event and they're wanting that information versus say, oh, go to our social media or trying to give them the name, have you about a virtual business card that we would be able to quickly share to their phone?
Yes, me and Marie actually discussed that in our last meeting or meeting before.
Okay.
And so that was actually my fault because I packed that stuff and I just didn't send y'all with a full box. I just left the ones that were in the case. But what we'll be doing, because we'll likely take a phone to every open house that we do.
Mhm.
That circle in the very center of the phone, I'm actually going to put an RFID chip there so that they'll be able to scan that, kind of like a popple or whatever it's called.
Mhm.
So they'll be able to scan that and get all the information right there from the phone.
Okay.
That's one thing I'll be doing. And then I'll also be sending out virtual cards. And I should have said this before Rashad hung up, but Marie just got hers. I plan on getting everybody their own cards anyway. So the next actual in-person meeting we are going to have headshots done and then in team shots. And then we'll be using those to do all our designs and business cards, blah, 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 blah. That way, next presentation won't be missing y'all three. Because I definitely be feeling away when I see it. I'm like, that ain't even a whole squad. They don't know. But yeah, we definitely talked about that.
Okay.
Jaleesa, you had something?
I can't think right now. I don't think so.
Word. Anybody else?
I was gonna say this ain't necessarily a question, but maybe something that could be helpful is like, have you ever thought about getting like maybe like a arm that we could add on to like the steering station that maybe we could put up like some signage to like help people out with like what's gonna take place? Cause I know like we're constantly having people say, what are we supposed to do? Work or different things, and maybe we could have like something to help out, give them a little bit of information or something. That way it's not so redundant or we're like taking time to tell each person the same thing, kind of like a steps to go through or something like that.
Yeah, I remember us going through that, like telling people, hey, only 3 people can get on this booth. So it's like right there in writing, like on a sign that says no more than 3 people, or yeah, just like safety measures or stuff like that.
Yeah, so this is actually this is the company that I bumped into at. Can y'all see my screen still?
No.
Oh. All right, what about now?
Yes.
How about now? Because I'm up right now. All right. There's a little sharing station deal that I want. There you go. Yeah. And I'm mad because they were selling it right off the floor and it was gonna be like uber cheap and somebody bought it right under my nose. But this is what I'm looking at getting. A couple of them, and they'll be easy to set up. They're just like little frames come in a bag. But my hope is I was waiting on like our restructure and seeing what all of that will look like before we branded it. But this is ideally where we would put all of that information, like just put the iPad right there on the stand and then have the TV as an option. The TV and the tube lights will likely disappear as an add-on. That might become like a more standard thing with our setups. Maybe, depends. But gotta look at some analytics on how often people actually book those things. And they're also good sell points for like, hey, we can give you a free, overlay if you. But anyway, this is what I'm looking at to solve that issue. For now, I can definitely, because I'm still kind of waiting on the branding thing, I can definitely at least get some kind of like board or signage or maybe even like the retractable banners or whatever that just kind of break that down. The retractable banners are a little bit cheaper and easier to manage too. So we might do something like that. Any more questions? All right, all hearts and minds. Oh, Vanessa, you had some? Did you just unmute?
No, I just never went back on mute.
Cool. All hearts and minds clear. Well, hey, I appreciate y'all. Love you all. And thank y'all for being here. And let's go out and kill it. Next meeting is going to be the first Monday of June. And Maria will get all that information out to y'all then, or well before then.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Man.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
All
Thank
right,
you.
y'all
Have a good evening.
All right. Did you say stay on?
No, I'm trying to leave, but you know what? I was gonna say, you had told me to make a note of something. It was having to do with the see, look, that's why I wanted to tell you because I knew I was gonna forget. Because at the same time, Dante was texting about trying to get to your house, and so I was like trying to reply to him, but then I didn't see it. Do you remember what you said when you said make a note of this? I feel like you were in and then you clicked on the note. Oh, that's what it was. It was the percentage for them put in there. Isabel, don't put that on. Nuh-uh. We gotta wash your hair first. It's the 5% promo.
Yes. So their promo will be their name 5, Rashad 5, or Jaleesa 5.
Got it. Okay. So that's what they're gonna put in there, and off $1,000 booking, that's can be pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want me to send you an email with that, or you think you'll remember?
Yeah, put everybody in it just as a reminder to everybody.
Okay, so I'll send a follow-up, and have that in it. And then there was one other thing that they needed. It's going to be their pricing. Dame just texted me. Let me see what he said. He said, is it over? Yes.
That's funny.
And we gonna have to have a group Christmas party next year, and Dame is gonna have to be Santa Claus because he is the old man in the group.
Oh.
Did you grow up like that, where like the oldest uncle in the family always had to dress up as Santa Claus for parties?
I grew up with a dysfunctional family, Marie.
It's okay. It's okay. You're breaking generational curses. Did Dante get there yet?
No, I'm looking at my Vivint app now, but
He said GPS said 706 because of that 380 traffic, but I'm gonna call him real fast.
Okay, well, I'll let you go, and I'm gonna step outside, see if he's there.
Did you change it to 7:30?
No, I've never changed it.
Okay, he says coming up as 7:30 as on his thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I saw actually. Yeah, I see 7:30.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that may have been on me.
No, that's
I probably tried to give you a buffer because you had this. Yeah, I did put 7:30 because I put 6 to 7. I saw the team meeting, and I wanted you to have a buffer in between. All right, I'm gonna call him.
No, he walking up now. I see him. You in the right spot, brother. I'm coming. I'm hanging up with Marie now. I just freaked him out. All right.
He doesn't have one. Okay, yeah, I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.